Okay. Well, that's promising. I did shuffle this already. I did catch a glimpse of the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Wow, and the Lovers. Anyways, this reading is intended to be a little bit more self-centered. I'm sensing that the collective in which that this is meant for just needs that the affirmation that you are drop dead gorgeous, otherworldly, ethereal, iconic. Okay? Somebody might be into cat's eye, or maybe if you're on social media, your feed is giving you a lot of that, more than you would prefer, maybe. Okay, anyways, we're gonna get into this. My name is Lettice. I have other names, and this is Seer Seeds Tarot. Dear Most High and the Divine, we just want to take the time to thank you for all the protection, provision, and prosperities you place in our path each and every single day. At this time, I ask that you use me for a channeled message that speaks to the hearts of the collective, with myself included. At this time, we want to take our time, our intention, and attention towards binding up and casting out all cantankerous tongues, monitoring spirits, and evil eyes. Big up the ancestors, angels, archangels, ascended masters, and all light beings here for the highest good of the collective. Forgive me if I left anything out, but with all these things we say, pray, claim, and maintain. Amen. Ashe. Ashe. Alright, Spirit. I'm going to do a very quick message. Like I said, this is just to get your energy up. Maybe you're recovering from, Seven of Pentacles. You may be recovering from feeling overwhelmed, lurking in the shadows, right? Maybe you don't like choosing, you like to give up. So interesting that I'm seeing here with the cups and the chariot on the bottom of the deck. Whoever I'm speaking to, you're nothing short of fabulous. You're nothing short of spectacular. Give me 17 more of those. You know, like you're whoever I'm speaking to, you are divine. I mean, breathtaking. You are easy on the eyes. You're enticing. And because of this, or maybe even other factors, other nuances, it seems as though you may have been dealing with commitment issues. I don't know, maybe you had a relationship in the past where the other was withholding commitment from you, withholding certain parts of themselves from you. And now, when you take up space in other relationships, you're like, oh, well, who's gonna play this role? Be mindful. Yeah, there's something here about you potentially walking away from that and holding yourself accountable for the role that you play in your own suffering, your own circumstances. Yes. Yeah. Knight of Cups here. Wow. Okay, so whoever I'm talking to, this is we really are taking a deep dive into your emotional home. And I'm sensing that it's been very sporadic, very chaotic. Maybe you just don't know what the F is going on, and that's real. We did just go through the new moon with the solar eclipse, and then on the 28th of this month, we have the lunar eclipse. With confirmation on the bottom of the deck, the moon card again. So there's something here where your healing, I want to say your healing is contingent upon the phases of the moon. Like, you are in flow with the universe, unlike many of us. And I'm sure you have your seasons of this as well, but many of us, whether it's our phones, whether it's our demanding lives, whether it's the internalized capitalism, patriarchy, you know, all of these different things that we internalize, they kind of disrupt our intuition, our connection with Mother Earth. And I see that you are being pulled back into something that may even be slowing you down. Maybe you aren't working right now, or not working as much. Maybe in your free time, you're just not engaging with other people as much. You're kind of on lockdown, as I'm seeing this box, right? Or maybe you were in the box because of those things. You were in the, oh, I hate using this language, but the matrix, right? And there's something here about you stepping out, you strutting out, matter of fact, because I'm not sure what this is. This looks like an ox to me, right? An ox, but something about the leg positioning, it's as if it's modeling, right? It's this strut, this pump, this, I don't know, energy that you didn't even know existed. It might have been laying dormant. Like, another thing that I'm seeing here, right? At first I'm seeing a box. This also could be a doormat, right? Wow, that's very, very interesting. But yeah, there's a special attention here that we're seeing in the emotional house. Some of you are going to be revisiting, right? Some of you are going to be revisiting childhood wounds. Maybe things that you felt like you were growing apathetic or distant or indifferent towards. Like, oh, it doesn't pull on my heartstrings the same way anymore. You know, I don't feel as imprisoned and burdened and, you know, by it. I'm still here, barely, shorty. But there's something here with you revisiting that, right? I mean, because I'm pulling from the bottom of the deck right now. Excuse me, Spirit. Thank you. Something with you revisiting this with the moon cycles, right? You're not doing this on your own. And I feel like that's something very important I need to say. You are not alone. Whoever you are, you might be dealing with wounds around abandonment and neglect, and that can take shape, take form on anywhere on the spectrum, honestly. It could be really, really dramatic, very severe, very deep wounds, but nonetheless they are wounds. And when you are on the spiritual path that you are on, right, whether you're spiritual or not, because I sense that I'm speaking to a group of people who just have a vow to themselves to be the best version of themselves, to be healthy, to be fair, to be kind, to be open-minded, right? To leave space for other people's differences while attending to yourself and your own needs. Because if you are somebody who struggles with that neglect, especially emotionally, right, there are ways that you are doing that yourself because nobody ever cared to, you know, there were no trusted adults. Let's just leave it there, right? And so there's something about you going back and taking a look at that Four of Cups, right? taking a look at those feelings, maybe even taking a look into your eyes. And there will be something there that surprises you. I'm hearing a gift as well. Like, I'm sensing I'm speaking to a very optimistic person, and maybe that's to a fault, right? There's something here with you not fully letting yourself, wow, yeah, I don't know if you can see the circle, but up here in this corner, it's not closed. And that is a beautiful thing. There's something here about you are not stuck in, you're not truly bounded to anything, right? Now you may struggle with something, it may produce a lot of pain, and it is something that you need to slow down and acknowledge. But there's something here about, maybe this is not even your first time, it might be your fourth, seventh fucking time, I don't know, of you dipping back into this specific wound, right? And it could have been multiple events, multiple memories that deepened this wound. But there's something here about, in your adulthood, you may start the process of observing, of repairing, of doing the shadow work that's necessary to heal this wound, and yet the cycle is never fully complete, because there's something here about, as you are getting closer to that finish line, something about the discomfort of owning your anger, owning your disappointment, owning your grievances and your sadness. You don't like being there for real. And that's okay. That's understandable. That's valid. But you're gonna keep going through this cycle. Is going to be these seasonal feelings of loneliness, or just like, agony, until you let yourself truly sit in it, until the feelings themselves decide, thank you. You have adequately met our needs. You have adequately seen us through. And we will, not cling so hard to you. Yeah, like, your process to being in your Empress energy, because I'm sensing my collective, yeah, we started. Wow, confirmation, thank you so much, Spirit. This is really going well. We started here. We started in our Queen of Cups energy, and the last time that I was truly here, I believe we were mainly in our Queen of Wands energy, but every now and then we dipped into the Empress energy, but we were never really able to maintain that Empress energy because of that shadow thing that is not being addressed, that may be avoided, right? This heartbreak that you don't want to acknowledge is true. I was just watching, wow, my heart is kind of heavy right now. I just watched the movie For Colored Girls by Tyler Perry, that's based off of the poem For Colored Girls Who've Considered Suicide, but XYZ. I don't remember the rest of the title, but it's a very powerful piece, a very powerful poem collection, and the adaptation, the film adaptation, is very difficult to watch, but it felt like it was a very important watch, especially for myself, because in every character, let me not cry. In every character, I could see a part of myself. I could see how I could be any one of these women in any one of these circumstances. Coming back to our two original cards in this spread, there's something here where, like, in the movie, sorry, my eyes is twitching, I'm like literally just trying not to cry, but there's something here about in the beginning of the movie, not in the beginning, but one of the characters and her storyline. She was married to this man who she'd been seeing for years. I'm sure they'd been together for almost 20 years, if not more, right? Because they met as teenagers. But at some point he enlisted in the army. I don't know what wars he served in. PTSD overtook him and he was engulfed in alcoholism. And yeah, he was the worst type of alcoholic. Like the symptoms as to why the prohibition acts and all of that were very valid. He was very angry, aggressive. He was literally beating on his wife, talking shit about her, calling her a bitch, a whore, and all of these different things. And at some point, this woman, she's the only one working, she's the only one taking care of her kids. She's basically getting, our word, sexually assaulted every other night, having kids that she don't got money for. And this man is like begging her to marry him, but he is not anything to marry, but yet she never left him. And that's my point here, right? In the beginning, the 7 and 8 of cups, right? She had commitment issues. She didn't want to fully commit to him, but it also showed she was not ready to fully commit to herself and leave and take her kid and risk maybe not having anywhere else to go, but figuring the fuck out and acknowledging that anything was better than where she was. And unfortunately, because she gave in, this card is talking about moving away, walking away, but in this context, like the fact that she would lay there in silence as this man was on top of her, not fighting back, because she had been beat down so many times by this man already, right? But she also never snuck away, ran away, told anyone. And it led to a point in the movie where she came home because she forgot a document for the woman who she was assisting, right? The girl boss she was assisting. And this man is drinking and he's already in his emotions, and really he has no sense of accountability because he should be blaming himself for the position he is in life. But you know, she's an easy target. So he's like, I thought you said your boss was a woman. Now he thinks that she's, you know, cheating, and that somewhere along the lines he draws up the conclusion that, oh, these kids ain't mine. And what does he do? He hangs them over the balcony, actually out of a window, because it wasn't a balcony. He hangs these children out of a balcony and throws them off of, it was a very high building, like damn near 12 floors up, because, yeah, I don't even want to get into any more details, but this man kills his kids. And so there's something here about you owning it, being responsible for yourself and your actions, and understanding that if you stay here, it's doing more harm than good. You understand, if you stay dormant as this doormat that other people can walk over, or you stay in this box that was created for you, it's not serving you. This fixed emotion of, you know, desensitizing yourself or disassociating yourself from your experiences, from your life, is giving your power away. Simple and plain. It is creating more heartbreak for you in the end. So there's something here that needs to be worked out, but I see that it's going to be worked out, especially with these moon phases right now. This month is going to be a very powerful month for somebody, okay? And even if it's not your turn right now, God or whoever you believe in, they're working for you, baby. Your ancestors, I was hearing that too. Like, you just gotta work with them, my love, okay? You just gotta work with them. Something here about integration as well. I haven't pulled anything else, by the way. But there's something here about integration. Okay? This is yours. If you were promised anything at all, if you feel like you've been stagnant for too long, imagine, I want you guys to come revisit this video. As soon as you figure out what is blocking you and you do something about that, I want you to really pay attention to how quickly things turn around, how quickly it seems as though the universe is responding to you again, how quickly you manifest and it's there in minutes, not just days. I cut the goddamn deck. Isn't that something? What did I say about integration, guys? There's something here about you integrating your Queen of Cups and your Queen of Wands energy. Not to say that the other queens are insignificant, but I'm just saying, like, your intellect. Yeah, anyways, there's something here about you integrating your Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands energy as the remedy for you to maintain your Empress energy, because there's something here about you don't have to be less soft, right? You don't have to be less weird and sensitive. You don't have to be desensitized, right? But there are boundaries, right? Maybe that is the other cups, right? The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. But there's something here about there being boundaries, there being audacity. Yes, there being, that is the word. There being audacity, there being confidence. Like recognizing that you are an amazing lover, but pair that with the fact that, yeah, you're so amazing, most people don't deserve you. So when people show you that, when they show you that they don't care about your time, that they are jealous of you or whatever it may be, right? You move accordingly. You remove yourself, because as you know, there was a time that you were devastatingly insecure. There was a time when you couldn't have had a backbone. You couldn't have. And if you did have it, you were not using it. But there's something here about you did not have one. And it's okay that you didn't have one, because at the end of the day, it would have never actually really been yours. It would have been somebody else's that you were shadowing, that you were living vicariously through, right? There's a beauty in taking the long way. And sometimes it's not always going to be an A to B to C situation. Sometimes it's going to be an A to AB to ABB to BC to C before, you know, like you get what I'm going with that. It's not always going to be a situation where your parent told you, hey, the stove is hot, don't touch the stove, and you don't touch the stove ever in your life, and you just faithfully respected whatever they told you and believed them as if their word was law, because something about that also proves to be flawed. Honestly, something about that seems very flawed to me. Like, for you to be told something and you practice loyalty without actually testing something's limits or bounds. I heard some beautiful tarot reader say this the other day, that she was living on the edge of God's word every day. And there's something about you testing and pushing those bounds, that keeps you in faith, that keeps you excited even, and open. Wow. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Yeah. If you identify as male, there's something here. Even I'm seeing some of you may have recently gone through an ego death, right? But it's very beneficial to you because at the end of the day, now you have options. You may not have had any before, right? Maybe there is something that you were punishing yourself for. Because I don't even get that it's a karmic thing or a karmic debt, right? There's something here about, like, you're the type, and you don't have to just be male, like, no genders here. I really gotta learn how to correct that aspect of the language that I'm using. But anyways, there's something here about whoever is in a more masculine energy. There's a completion of a lesson, but the lesson has to do with you torturing yourself, right? Also a very attractive person. I see the King of Wands here. This is, bro, whoever I'm talking to, you guys, like, you guys, I'm not saying you're making your life harder, but there's something here about you hiding yourself when you're supposed to be seen, right? The world should be drooling and in awe of you, but they don't have access to you, right? What I was gonna say earlier, especially with the Ten of Wands here, I'm getting this energy if you're the type of person who unfortunately gets into an accident that might be partially your fault or not your fault at all. Excuse me again, right? Get into an accident that, you know, shakes you up. First, maybe even last accident that you've been through. And you would sit there and watch 10,000 hours of accidents on film after the event happened, right? And I don't know, I actually have no commentary on what the hell that is, but it just gives, you are torturing yourself. Like, you are punishing yourself for something that you already incurred trauma from. But there is an end to that cycle, right? Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting to pull this because when I split the deck, there was the Wheel of Fortune, right? You have options. You can either go back into a cycle of this, or you can go up, right? There's the Nine of Cups. This can entail, like, even in the card, you see some man. Although the Nine of Cups could be anything. It could just be your wishes coming true. But be careful what you wish for. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because, yes, be careful what you wish for, but also be mindful of what's on your mind. And I don't want you to discourage you from feeling your feelings. I'm not encouraging toxic positivity, and I think that was a very large message, especially in the beginning of this reading. You deserve to feel confident. You need the affirmation. You need to revisit something or do something new that excites you, okay? But also understand that you're doing well. Give yourself that compassion and grace. All right, y'all. I've talked for long enough. As with all of my readings, I want to encourage you, and I just want to say, I love you, and I really hope that you guys love yourselves, okay? Like, Like, seriously, we're in this together, and we are in it. We may be in the thick of the storm, but we are in it to win it. Okay? Okay. I love you guys so much.